Welcome back, everyone, to the Tournament of Legends 3 for EU here, hosted by DPS. We do have the next matchup for you. Once again, sorry about the delay. We're meaning to do very minimal, if no breaks at all today, but we were waiting on the teams to go ahead and get into the match, and that was taking a little bit of time, so unfortunately we had to do that break. But we will be going into the match right now, so let's head on in and look straight at the builds to get this match underway. Once again, sorry for the delay, but first up here, we have Curve Ellie. Curve Ellie is going to be on Dagger here. He's going to be running with Rune of the Hullbrack and Celestial Amulet. He's got the trait setup of 00266 here with the triple cantrip. Next up, we have Rena. Rena is going to be playing Thief here. He's got the Dagger Pistol as well as the Short Bow with the Rune of Vampirism and the Berserker Amulet. He's going to be running the trait setup of 60206, very standard there as well. Looking now at Guns and Tools. Guns and Tools going to be running Selly Rifle here with Rune of the Hullbrack. Like I said, Selly Amulet there with the trade setup of 60044, running with Slick Shoes over that triple kit there that we saw from the last game. Next up, we have Amsterdam. Amsterdam's going to be playing Shoutbow here. He's going to be running with Rune of the Soldier and Celestial Amulet, of course, here with a trade setup of 00464. He's actually opting for On My Mark over the Fear Me there for the third shout. If we look now at the last member of this red team here, Napzor is going to be running Medi here. He's going to be running with Hammer, Scepter Focus with the Rune of the Traveler and Berserker Amulet. He's taking Rune of the Traveler over that pack rune for a little bit of point-to-point mobility, I suppose, there. So the trait setup now being 01616 with the triple meditations there.
Taking a look at the blue team, we've got the Majestic Capricorns. Let's take a look at Artful Panda. He's going to be playing the Dagger Pistol Short Bow for this team with the Vampirunes running with Berserker Amulet, running 60206 standard build setup there. I do want to point out he's running Infiltrator Signet, something very interchangeable with Blinding Powder. We see a lot of Blinding Powder from most Panic Strike DPTs, but he's going to be taking the Signet for that. Next up, we got Cranox. He's going to be playing the Medigard for this team with the Hammer Sword Focus. Now, this is interesting because usually Hammer Medigards play with the Scepter Focus, and we'll sometimes see Great Sword with the Scepter Focus. It's just interesting to see this combo of weapons, having the sword focus. It's going to provide for a little bit more mobility and a little bit more burst, but that ranged pressure isn't really going to be there with the sword. He's going to be running with the pack runes, running 01616. Next up, we got Luna Demon Fire. He's going to be playing the Staff Ellie for this team with Runes of the Pirate, Celestial Amulet, running 00266. He is also taking Glyph of Elementals over FGS, so that's really going to hinder his mobility. But as a Staff Ellie in general, you have pretty high uptime on your swiftness and mobility as a whole. So we'll have to see how that works out for him in the 1v1 and 1v2 situations. He'll probably end up being in. Grandmaster is going to be one of two shout bows for this team, running with the Sword Warhorn Longbow with Soldier Rune Celestial Inlet, running 00464, standard setup in the utilities. And finally, we've got Mr. Xeon running the second shout bow for this team with the same setup of Sword Warhorn Longbow, running with the Soldier Runes and 00464 being his trait. So, pretty standard builds for both teams here. What are your predictions going into this match here? Because these are two teams we expected to see TCG in this game and not Red Team. And unfortunately for TCG not showing up, seeing these two going at it, this is going to be a really good matchup. What are you thinking about this one?
I'm definitely thinking that these teams are going to be very, very close in this matchup. I think it's going to be a close game, and any and all maps that they do, I think it's going to be really tight matches there. I think that Red Team probably with a little bit of an advantage looking at it, I would have to say, but we're just a couple seconds away. What are you thinking?
I'm really putting my money on Red Team here. We do know that Blue Team has the upper hand seed-wise, but the Red Team, I think they've got a little bit more balanced of a comp with the Engineer, unlike the Blue Team. But Blue Team definitely, Majestic Capricorns definitely have a lot of experience underneath their belts, and this could go either way. So we'll have to look at the opening splits and to see what both teams decide to do. As Red Team going to be sending 3 members out of the gate, looks like they're only going to be sending Curve to the hench point. Blue Team opting to play the 2-point strat here.
Yeah, it looks like right now we can see Curve Ellie, the Dagger Ellie from Red Team, going and assaulting the member of the Blue Team at Henge there, which is Mr. Xeon. But the biggest fight here is going to be on the keep node, as looks like 3v4 is going to be happening here. Blue Team all over. It looks like it's going to be Napzor. Napzor taking most of the heat right here. Actually taken down into the shelter, as well as renewed focus there. So he's got no defensive cooldowns, and they're still training him out right now. 3 members of the blue team here. He's forced to ring, and they take him out into downstate there. So it looks like red team, ooh, they do get off the banner, but he's going to be taken out once again very, very shortly, and it's just a matter of time. And he does go down there. No, and I definitely think
they're trying to get the res. I think they do get the res.
They do get it.
That was a little bit of misplay coming out from Guns and Tools. He kind of sat around expecting a deep to cross to the mine point. He could have got to the midpoint, created, and got a heal off a little bit earlier. They got him back into the fight, though. Nabzor is down once again. They're trying to go in for the cleave, trying to get the res as well. There's so much cleave coming out from this blue team. They're probably going to end up taking him out as Amsterdam goes down as well. Red team probably going to play for sides now, seeing as they still have the decap over on the henge node.
Yeah, we actually see Rena going for a +1 here on the henge node, where it looks like Curve doing pretty solidly versus Mr. Xeon here, and with the thief now +1ing, they do take out Mr. Xeon, and it looks like Rena is all over this Artful Panda here. Artful Panda forced into the Vamp runes right now, and he does have members of red team all over him, and he gets taken out as well. So red team doing a great job of potentially turning this around if they can stay alive and take capture of this henge node here, and it looks like they are looking pretty solid at doing
It looks
so.
like they've got the upper hand here for sure. We should have seen Grandmaster for the blue team, the Xiaopo. He should have made a push for the mine node. He could have easily got a decap and made that a 1v1 between the other Xiaopo for the red team on their node rather than his node. But back onto this henge point, looks like they're able to take out Mr. Xeon. Kranox in the down state as well. This isn't looking good for Majestic Capricorns at all, as we're probably going to see red team take the 2-cap here again. But right off of respawn, we see Artful Panda making a push for the mine. It's a good push coming out from the blue team.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually do see 2 members of the blue team in downstate here, as red team does take full control over this henge node. It's just a matter of time until this does get capped. So actually we can see Artful Panda, the blue team thief here, actually getting the decap and going for the full cap right now. We actually see Grandmaster in downstate. So blue team, luckily for them, they are able to get that decap onto red team's home node there, but with the 2-cap that's happening and the momentum that red team has, they are potentially going to be able to group up and try to get something going. However, it looks like blue team
look at the hold they have right now, though. Look at the hold they have. I mean, Grandmaster's on respawn, and look at the positioning of the red team. They can make sure he doesn't actually get out. Looks like he's going to go out of the front gate, so he's going to force a 1v1 up against Curve. That's not that could take quite some time. Actually, he's just going to push past him. It looks like blue team knows they need a 2-cap right now to make sure red team doesn't get a huge lead. They're going to be pushing for the mid node. Instead of going for sides, Grandmaster caught in a little bit of trouble over between the points, though.
Yeah, and if they can put some pressure on Grandmaster here, that would be really good for the red team here. And it looks like Curve putting the pressure down right now. If they can get some damage out on him, and Xiaopo is pretty burstable because of the lack of endure, the lack of stab. So it's Grandmaster right now being taken out. Red team all over here, swarming all over Grandmaster right now. And
look where they're
stomp
at.
does come out. Not a good spot for the blue team to be in. I completely agree. They definitely want to be getting some nodes right now because they're down 100 points here. They just came off of respawn, and it's not looking so solid.
Going for a decap. On to the henge. He gets the decap as we see Curve not able to get there in time. Didn't look like he had Lightning Flash up yet. It was just a few seconds left. He could have saved it if he would have had that cooldown. So we do see the decap going on there. Blue team knows they still need a 2-cap. They're going to push, knowing, I mean, they're on 3 nodes right now. Both teams on 3 nodes. So the 2-point strat hasn't really worked out too well for blue. Good decision on their part to try for 3-node pulling.
Yeah, and it looks like we actually see Guns and Tools potentially going to be taking out Mr. Xeon very shortly here on this mine node, where Mr. Xeon is in some heat here. We actually see him pulling out, so red team going to get this decap off onto the mine node here. And meanwhile, we actually see Artful Panda taken out. He's very, very low, or actually in downstate, he's getting rezzed right here actually, and Curve is all over him trying to get the cleave off, but blue team manages to get the res, and they're going to converge onto this henge point right now, and we might actually see, ooh, Rena does get taken out. Blue team able to turn this back around with that res there, and if they can cleave out Rena actually getting bannered there, that could have potentially been very, very deadly for the red team. We actually see Artful Panda here going into stealth and getting ready for another burst onto this red team, and if he lands it, he will definitely turn this fight in their favor. However,
yeah, taking a quick look at mine though, we do see Mr. Xeon is taken out there, so red team able to take the 2-cap, and it still looks like they have the upper hand over at the henge, so potentially a 3-cap coming out from red team. But we do see Rena is spiked down by Artful Panda. He's gonna get some support coming out from him, trying to get the res. No stomp gonna be coming out. Shadow Refuge coming out from Artful Panda, seeing what they can do to get the res regardless. So great pickups coming out as they take out 2 members. Luna and Mr. Xeon over at the mine point able to secure the 3 cap for their team once they clean up a couple of these members of the blue team at the hinge point.
Yeah, and with these staggered respawns that are happening from this blue team here, I definitely see red team taking this 3 cap, and if they can control the map here, and it looks like actually we're going to see Artful Panda taking the decap off on keep, and it looks like the fight is now going to shift over towards that node. However, the 2 cap is still going. We actually see 291 to 98 right now. Red team obviously with a huge lead, as we can see on the thing right now, and we actually see Artful Panda taking it to Napzor. Obviously Napzor with an advantage with that Mediguard, but right now Artful Panda doing a pretty decent job at putting some pressure down on him and getting him to pop some of his defensive cooldowns without taking really any pressure at all so far.
Yeah, Luna did come off a respawn, forced a 1v1 against Rena. This is a favorable matchup for Rena, especially running with DP. I mean, I feel DPPs really have the upper hand against the Staff Ellie, especially if you know what to dodge and when. But taking a look at the midpoint, looks like we do have Cranox does get bannered back into this fight. That's really needed, as they can't afford to lose another team fight. Looking at the score, they don't even have 100 points. At this state in the game, it looks like he was taken down by Guns. Good Fear Me coming out for the blue team here, trying to get the res from Grandmaster, but I'm just not sure it's going to happen. So much cleave coming out from red right here.
Yeah, we actually see Napzor taken out right here, and it looks like blue team going to opt for some cleave here. Amsterdam trying to get something going, but he's going to leave it. Napzor going to be completely taken out here by Artful Panda. Artful Panda going to go ahead and get the heal after the Vampirins take off. So blue team now potentially going to get some node control going towards the keep. However, Artful Panda does get taken out.
I think it's just a little too late in the game. I mean, potentially they could come back, but this is like their first cap in minutes now, and the red team has had such a dominant hold on this game thus far. You know, only 130 points away from victory. They could just sit on Henge if they wanted to and win the game that way, but they're still making a push at the mine point, where it really looks to be favoring this red team right now. Blue team needs to be sending reinforcements here if they want any chance at coming back in this game. At this stage, though, I'm really thinking both teams, especially blue, are just thinking, hey, what can we do this next game to win?
We actually saw a huge burst being dropped down on Napzor at the mine node here. We actually see once again Artful Panda getting another decap over on Henge. However, at this mine node, we actually see Luna taking most of the pressure. The Staff Ellie, the Staff Ellie from this blue team here. Looks like blue team training out Napzor, the person they bursted initially into this fight as they came in. However, Luna taking most of the pressure from red team. Luna very, very low right now at 10%. Blinks out of the fight here. Napzor at about 20% with really no cooldowns left right now. He does have shelter though, so he's going to go ahead and pop that. He's going to be healthy for the time being, and they're going to turn the pressure now on Cranox. Cranox here at about 10%, trying to get some damage out on Napzor, but you know, this could go either way. Why don't we take a look, however, at that 1v1 we actually saw.
Artful Panda and Rena were in a 1v1 at the Henge.
Yep.
Artful Panda had the huge upper hand, able to get the full cap and force Rena out of there, pushing to the mid node. Basically winning it, not able to take him out fully though, but at mid, we do see red team with the upper hand in a 2v1 situation. Mr. Xeon getting pretty low. They're just going to try and take him out rather than to get that cap. Red team still holding on to mine. That's all they need to do for about another 50 points here, or excuse me, 90 points to take the victory. But I mean, still full force at the midpoint, knowing very well this blue team is a pretty good team. Can't allow, you know, for any leeway for them to get back into this game.
Yeah, actually, we see Artful Panda coming out of the SR and taking out Rena here. The crates do come down, and it looks like Rena is going to blink onto the point. We actually see Artful Panda being taken out as well, but it looks like blue team, with that res, are going to solidify this win on this midpoint here as they cleave out Rena. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get a res off, at least in my opinion. Rena's just too low at this point. There's a little bit too much cleave that can be put down. Amsterdam right now very, very low. Guns and Tools taking a little bit too much damage. However, Artful Panda did just get taken out as he tried to get a little bit aggressive versus the red team here on Guns and Tools, and he gets taken out. Looks like blue team trying to get that res there, but it does not look like it's going to be enough. Blue team does not manage to get that, so it looks like red team possibly turning this back around and potentially going to carry this out until the end of the match.
I mean, there's really been no assault from the blue team over the mine. It looks like we finally are going to see Grandmaster push for it. But, I mean, Ren is just going to go back and get the decap on the Henge point. No contestation whatsoever. We're going to see the Thief for the blue team. Artful Panda coming off respawn to contest it. Red team looking like they're going to mop up the midpoint, though. That's all they really need to do. It's kind of interesting to see red team. They've had this 1 cap or 2 cap. They could have held on to it, but they keep pushing, keep going on the offensive. This game could have definitely been over by now if they just would have held on to one of those points. But still, definitely in their favor, and we're probably going to see them take game number 1.
Yeah, Amsterdam actually doing very well versus the Staff Ellie here. So Shoutbow versus Staff Ellie. The Shoutbow actually, manages to take out the Staff Ellie. That's very interesting to see. And we actually see Red Team showing some last-second dominance over this blue team here. And, looking pretty good. I mean, what are you thinking about this map? Anything that they could have done differently, this blue team, to kind of turn this around and maybe have a better shot at taking out this red team, maybe going into the next Legacy map?
There were some great rotations coming out from blue, no doubt, but red team definitely had map control for most of it. That open split 3-point play really set the pace for this game. They were able to hold on to the mine point at the start, build a small lead. A lot of teams like to push for the 3-point. If the other team doesn't, they're going to start to build a small lead. The other team who doesn't push for that third point, they really have to take advantage of having the numbers at the midpoint or at their home point, and they got to do something about it. Otherwise, they're going to give them that slight edge at the start of the game, and that's definitely not how the game's going to end by any means, but it's setting the pace for it, getting it into your mind that you can win this game and take it. And they definitely, took off from that 1 cap at the start of the game and won multiple fights, and eventually at some point in the game had a 3 cap near the midway and definitely, dominated from then on out.
Yeah, I definitely have to say that, obviously we're right in our predictions, but this is a new map. This is a new chance for blue team to kind of come back and make some adjustments. I do have to say that I'm just feeling that red team's going to take this game 2, and we're going to see a 2-0. At least in my opinion. I just don't know. With what we saw in the last matchup, I don't think that they're going to be able to turn around. I think red team is just going to have way too much momentum. We're going to see red team taking some early caps and really giving it to them. I see red team having a 2 cap for most of the game in this matchup.
Well, that's definitely so. Artful Panda did a great job of getting some decaps that last game.
You have to give that to him for sure.
If he's able to stay doing that and keep on top of it for most of this game, it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to maneuver around a lot of these classes coming out from the red team. But I think it's really, I'm not saying that him alone could change the game, but I think if he's able to do that, that could definitely help in their cause.
So why don't we go ahead and we're going to go into the match here. We're going to be looking at both of the teams here, and we actually have both teams looking to ready up here. Once again, this is red team 1 up over Majestic Capricorns here, and on game 2 on Legacy here. As I said before, this is a best of 3 matchup. It's going to be best of 3 all the way through to the finals today, where the finals will be a best of 5, and the map rotation will change for that, and we will go into that later. However, if red team wins, obviously they're going to be moving on to the semifinals and to take on Orange Logo, the team that we actually just talked to Jebra about, the one that he just looking at.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup if it were to go there. Personally, I do think red team, they have the upper hand if they were to go into that. Majestic Capricorns, we've seen them in ESLs. They've done fairly well, but that last game, it really felt like they just weren't there as as a team for the most part. Red team coming out of the gate, totally dominating for the most part that game. I don't think a single point in that game, their blue team really had the upper hand, as that was a huge victory coming out for red team. But this game number 2 is underway on Legacy. We'll have to see who's going to be taking this one and if red team's going to be moving on into the semifinals.
Looks like we got about 5 seconds until the game starts. Well, we take a look at the splits. We might see another aggressive push, a little of a two to the far point. We might see again. That's something we've been seeing all day, and it looks like that actually might be the case, unless we might see an all-in at the
curve.
midpoint.
Looks like curve. Okay, they're going to be stealthing up. This is something we saw in the last series as well. We're 3 members of this red team, so we are going to probably see curve. Yes, he's going to be making his way over with the FGS to the waterfall, play the 3-point strat. The blue team catching on. They're playing 3 points as well, so they're not going to give red team the opening lead here with the 1 cap.
We actually see Luna already taking some heat right now. Luna does have about 80%, but Luna just used all of their water skills. So if they're able to put some pressure down, she has no cantrips left at all either. So if they could put some pressure down on her, that's going to guarantee a kill. However, blue team turning now on Napzor. Napzor stuck in the ring, gets immobilized as well, and he's going to be dropped in downstate. The banner does come out. Napzor back up into the fray, and it looks like they're going to try to put some pressure down. Napzor taking pressure again, already at 20%, forced into the renewed focus here, and he's just trying to jump around and get something going for himself. It looks like Kranox taking a little bit of some latent pressure here. They might be able to turn some pressure on to him and possibly take something out there, but it looks like Kranox now going to be the first one to be dropped from this blue team here, as he's at 10%. Oh, and he does get dropped. However, Napzor is standing right next to him, and he's so low. Luna potentially about to be taken out too, and Luna does get taken out as Cranox gets back up, and Cranox probably going to be cleaved as well, as he is at about 10% health and has really no defensive cooldowns after this shield wears off here. And we're probably going to see Napzor following up with some damage pressure, and he does take him out with that mighty blow.
But taking a look at the quarry, it looks like, oh, this is a close, intense fight. Red team able to get the res up here. Blue team taking the cap, so they are going to be taking this one for their own. Red team going to get reinforcements coming out from Napzor, coming from that mid fight. Ooh, able to spike down. Artful Panda gonna get cleaved out here. It looks like those, the bleeds are gonna take on him. He is taken down here. This is looking really good. Grandmaster does have banner, but keeps getting interrupted, so he is gonna be taken out as well. So blue team probably gonna be making a push for mid or waterfall. I think waterfall is the better one to go now. As Mr. Xeon's in a 1v2 situation.
Luna walking into this fight here, trying to get a res off. I'm not really sure if this is a great idea here. Luna now with really no cantrips left, trying to get some heals off, but she's not going to be able to get away very fast after the static here. I mean, most of the cooldowns are used up, so she's going to try to get over to the graveyard point, where I think a lot of the members of the red team are going to be able to turn on here. Probably not a good rotation there. Red team already going to get that 2 cap early, like we talked about just a couple moments ago, and this is where the momentum shift really starts to happen. This is where teams really start to get things going.
Especially on this map.
Especially on this map.
Exactly. If they're able to get that 2 cap here, which they did almost 3 minutes into this game, and they're still holding a decap on the waterfall, they're really going to take it away right now. But unless blue team's able to regroup and win a team fight, which is very difficult at this point in time, but Napzor's getting pretty low. He pops RF. Doesn't look like he's going to stay in it very long. Just getting out of it right away. Trying to get some support from his team, though. Running all over the place. They still hold on to the 2 cap, so as long as he's just staying alive, they're doing fine here. They don't need to get kills, although it would behoove them at this point in time. They don't need to, as they're still taking the 2 caps right now.
Yeah, if Napzor can stay alive long enough for them to turn some pressure onto either Cranox or potentially get down Xeon, you know. It looks like, actually, if we look at the fight with Xeon, Rena actually gets cleaved out here. Just too much Condi's. Amsterdam trying to go for the res, might actually get it, and he does actually get it. Rena's going to be back up. However, if we look at the mid fight, we actually see Red Team taking that with some fury here. Red Team solidifying this control of the graveyard node here. They still have Corey. They're going to chase out Luna, who's moving towards Corey. However, if we look at the waterfall, we actually see Red Team still doing very solid on that as well. If they're able to take that, they're going to be able to get a 3v3 or a 3 cap, and that's that momentum that we were talking about.
This terrible situation. Look at what just happened. So we're going to see Xeon and Luna both taken out about the same time. 2 members of the blue team just coming off respawn. They got 3 members up right now. They're going to wait 15 seconds for the guys just to get up respawn, another 10 to get to another point. This is going to be devastating for this blue team, especially if they push into this waterfall node. Grandmaster, not exactly sure what he's trying to do right here. That's not a good place to be. Oh, they do take down Rena. Regardless, they're outnumbered all around the map as Red Team sending reinforcements, knowing all the blue teams coming off respawn. We'll have to see if blue team's going to actually group up and make for a push to win a team fight, because that's the only way I see them coming back into this game.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of pressure being dropped on Cranox here. He has no defensive cooldowns. If they can put some CC on him, he'll be in some trouble here. It looks like Napzor sees this and tries to put some pressure down. However, it doesn't look like any of the other members of the red team really gets the memo there, and he's going to be alone in that conquest. However, if we look right now, Cranox does indeed get dropped, as we see Amsterdam coming in with some pressure to be put along with Napzor. Napzor taking him out here, so he's going to be cleaved out. So red team with another kill, and this is going to be a 5v4 matchup, as we see a 1v1 actually happening on the quarry, where red team does have the advantage in that setup, as it is a Shoutbow versus an NG. However, if we look at this mid fight, what's going on here, Storm?
I mean, we do finally see somebody for the red team go down. Rena is in the downstate. 3 members of this red team able to get the res right there. Like I said, coming out of that gate, they sent 3 people to the waterfall, and they were staggered from then on out. Like, this is a 3 cap, a dominant 3 cap put out for red team. I don't see the blue team in the situation they're in right now ever coming back into this game. We do see Luna taken down into the downstate there, and Grandmaster coming in, trying to possibly see what he can do to get the res. Not going to happen. Decap coming out from the Cranox onto the waterfall, but even at this point in time, 350 points and a 2 cap, actually decap now at the quarry. It's still such a strong lead from red team. This is a very difficult situation to come out of on top for blue.
Yeah, I have to agree here. 320 to 14. I mean, that's just all out complete dominance over this blue team here. We see Artful Panda being brought back up here by the banner, got into the SR. Oh, revealed himself in the SR, walked too far and got out of it. Looks like Rena sees that, tries to follow up with some pressure, and they're all over Artful Panda right now. However, Artful Panda does get taken out. Rena very, very low here at about 10% health. Does manage to get the heal off and get into stealth. Looks like the cleave is being put on Artful. However, Luna and Kranox going for the res. They do manage to get him up. So Artful is back in the fight here as the fight does move over towards the graveyard node here. We actually see the Ellie from the red team, Curve Ellie, all over this thief here, and he's going to be trying to put some pressure down as Artful does go downstate once again, but the SR is just in time to save his life as they are able to get that res off.
Yeah, taking a peek at the quarry, though. Guns and Tools trying to stay alive against Mr. Xeon. He was at a disadvantage, but Rena is going to +1 this. Trying to spike him down here, going to help out his teammate, try and take this 2-cap once again as they hit the 350-point mark. The reinforcements coming out from Kranox, though, but he's not going to be able to help out too much as Xeon does go into the downstate. Ring coming out, trying to get the res. Artful Panda did plus the fight, takes down Guns and Tools. This is going to be big. They get the res on the Xeon. Huge turn of events coming out for Blue onto the quarry node. Holding the 2-cap, that alone wouldn't win the game, but able to take out Guns and Tools is really going to be a big boost for this team. But we are going to see Carve going to be making a push for the waterfall. No one from blue team even around the area, so this is going to be a free decap for blue, or excuse me, for the red team. What looked like a kind of a spark of hope coming out for blue didn't turn out to be much as they weren't on the on the rotations as Curve was.
Yeah, Curve definitely very, very smart move on his part, moving over to the waterfall. He is going to get that full capped for his team. So once again, red team with another 2-cap. There's just not enough time at this point. I think red team is just far too dominant, has the momentum. I don't see the blue team being able to come back. I definitely see red team taking this 2-0 over Majestic Capricorns. I'm not sure if they're able to do anything. Kranox taken out right now on the side of the
seeing these little skirmishes that go on between points at this state in the game, there's 2-cap for red, 410 points, only 90 away from taking the victory here. Seeing these little skirmishes between points, you kind of feel and know that it's game over, and I don't see any possible way of the Majestic Capricorns getting back into this game. So we're probably going to see red team taking this game number 2 and moving on into the semifinals. Rena is in the downstate at the midpoint, trying to get a couple kills here and there. Artful Panda down as well. Whoever gets the stomp for Cleave out first. Rena is taking out Artful Panda, going to be back into this fight. Does rally here, but red team still holding on to the 2-cap. This is definitely going to be game over.
Yeah, and there we have it. We have 445 to 113 right now. The 2-cap still in favor of the red team as Artful Panda is dead here. Luna very, very low as well. We actually see Luna very, very close to being taken out. Has the blink still, but does get taken out. Still has the vapor form. I expect to see it. It looks like, ooh, the stomp comes out so early from the red team. Red team's solidifying that kill there, and they're just going to keep moving and keep training down members of the blue team to solidify this victory here. We actually see Xeon at about 10% health, just trying to get away right now, trying not to die for his team here, and he does actually get taken out by Guns and Tools. Guns and Tools just going to go ahead and get the stomp, and it looks like we're just seconds away from red team pretty much dominating this Majestic Capricorns team in this game 2 on Legacy.
Yeah, for the most part. And seeing them have this dominance in this game, and a pretty solid performance from them last game, winning that as well. What are your thoughts on them going up against Orange Logo? That's going to be a much more difficult team to go up against. One of the best, if not the best, on EU, arguably. Seeing red team, they did very well that last game. Do you think they can put up a fight against Orange Logo, who seem to struggle against leaderboard over life in the earlier rounds?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, that's definitely going to be night and day in terms of the teams that they're going up against. I mean, this blue team did a fantastic job. Not so much in the later game there on Legacy, but Orange Logo is a completely different team. Orange Logo obviously being the top seed from pretty much everything there. I mean, they've been very dominant for a long period of time. They won WTS in Boston there. I mean, I think it's too. The Orange Logo team is just too much of a juggernaut right now. They have all of the strength in the world right now to take it to this red team. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do anywhere close to the same thing that they did, that we just witnessed them do versus Majestic Capricorns. However,